Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm finally back to the interviewing game. Welcome to episode 9 of Mojito with Majeeto. And today, right as we're in the midst of Dexter Resurrection, I'm joined by Dominic Fumusa, the amazing actor who plays Detective Melvin Oliva in Dexter Resurrection, and who you may know from the popular medical drama series Nurse Jackie as Kevin Payton and as Gregory Moltisanti, aka Christopher Moltisanti's cousin from The Sopranos. What's up, man? How are you
How
doing?
are you? Good, very good. Good to meet you. Good to talk with you.
Of course, I'm very happy that you're here with us, and I'm sure the Dexter fans in the Middle East will be very happy to watch this interview. And yeah, um,
Fantastic. Happy to join you.
so we're halfway through Dexter Resurrection, and I'm absolutely loving it. Can you tell us what to expect in the second half of the season?
Well, I don't want to ruin anything for you, but I can promise you that it gets better every episode. There's a there's a way that Clyde Phillips and Scott Reynolds and their writing staff have structured it so that just the momentum and the suspense just keeps on building, and it really is. I mean, I think it was great in the first episode, and I think it just keeps getting better and better. Yeah.
Do you think you could describe us, Detective Melvin, as a character and what it's been like playing someone like him, especially in a show that's like Dexter Resurrection?
Sure. Yeah. So I would say Detective Melvin Oliva is what you would call sort of an old school cop.
Yeah,
He's he has more of a traditional outlook on things. He's a bit reserved, not a man of many words, but he also has a quirky sort of dry sense of humor, and I think he pairs very well with Claudette, Detective Claudette Wallace. I've said before, it's sort of a yin and a yang thing that happens with them. Um, she's obviously got her unorthodox methods, and he's really the only one in the department who seems to fully understand her. He very much respects her. He gives her space
yeah,
to do what she does. And then they come together and they talk things through. Uh, they strategize. They bounce ideas off of each other. But they're just a great pair. And what I love is I've my entire career I've been based in New York City. I mean, I've worked all over the world. I've worked all over America. I've worked in Europe, but I've loved being a New Yorker. And for this show to shoot in New York, this iconic show, which we all loved in its original, incarnation, the 8 seasons that they did, based in Miami, and then the next season upstate New York, New Blood. But to
yeah.
come, but to come to New York City and continue the story here, and to play a character that is so, I'm one of the few characters. Claudette and I are really the only two characters who are, you know, part of the fabric of, well, and of course Blessing, his family. So we're the sort of the foundation of the city upon which the story will be built. Because obviously Dexter and Harrison and Harry and Batista and all of the people that Prater invites to his home, these are all people from out of town, and
Yeah.
so it's nice to play a character that is just sort of the bedrock of upon which this story will get built in terms of the structure and really the logistics of telling a story like this, where Dexter is going to do what he does, and the police department are going to do their best to eventually catch on. We'll see where it goes, but I just feel so lucky to play this part, to stay in New York, to work, which like I said, is not always the case. Um, I'm staying in my own house, and still getting to do this incredible job. It's the best of both worlds, yeah. And I
So
feel
cool.
very
I'm really liking your character so far, and it's so nice to speak to you, man. What
thank you.
is
Yeah,
what's his relationship slash dynamic like with Claudette, and how well do they handle each other?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear with whom.
With
With
Claudette,
Claudette.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, well, like I said, they really work well together, and I think what was really smart about the way our showrunner Clyde Phillips and Scott Reynolds have constructed this is they kind of they operate in a way where they they need each other to sort of complement each other's skill sets.
Hmm.
Uh, at the very beginning of the season, it's obvious that uh, Oliva is one of the few people in the department who appreciate fully what Claudette brings to her work. And
Yeah.
and I have those lines with the cops, with the uniformed cops in that first scene. She sees things that we don't, is what I say to them. And I just think it wouldn't work if Oliva didn't have tremendous respect and care for Claudette. And as the season progresses, their friendship, I think, blossoms. Uh, you know, during the episodes even a little more, and there becomes a fun sort of banter that they develop. You'll see them become more comfortable with each other. They trust each other completely. Uh, we like to say, Kadia, who plays Claudette and is such a phenomenal actress. We like to say as actors, we're the same. We're opposite sides of the same coin. You know,
Yeah.
and that's really how we look at it. And it's just really great to play this part and to have a partner uh, to do it with, uh, like Claudette, like Kadia, who's just fantastic.
So for a show like Dexter Resurrection being as dark and as serious as it is, even though there's darkly comedic moments, has there been any funny behind the scenes stories that happened on set?
Well, I think you're really onto something when you talk about the dark comedy. I don't think Dexter would be as popular as it is and have lasted as long as it has if it didn't have this element of dark comedy and sort of the lighter moments that give us a chance to catch our breath, because it does go very dark and it gets so intense. And that's a real credit to the writers, but it's also a real credit to Michael C. Hall in the way he plays Dexter, and the way he does his inner monologue with those voiceovers.
Yeah.
Um, we fall in love with him, and it's so strange because you know on paper this is a man who is scary. I mean, this is a guy who is a serial killer. Now, granted, he's a serial killer of serial killers, so there's sort of a bit of a poetic justice, if you will, to what he's doing. But nonetheless, it's outside the realm of what we consider, normal or acceptable behavior in society, and yet he's one of those great anti-heroes who we just can't help but absolutely root for. And so I think that both on camera and off camera on the set, there's an irreverence, there's a playfulness, there's at times even a silliness to what we're doing. And it's great because, I think a great lesson, no matter what you're doing, who you are, is to never take yourself too seriously.
Mm.
And this show doesn't take itself too seriously, which I think is why it's so inviting and so appealing to so many people all over the world, as you prove. Um, yeah. So, in terms of like, you know, funny moments on set, yeah, I mean, we do a little bit of, good natured teasing, and there's just a fun rapport with the actors. We have two great directors, Marcos Siega and Monica Raymond, who are just brilliant,
Hmm.
and they just have a way of keeping things light and just getting things done in an efficient yet enjoyable way. It's a tremendous set. It's a great set, and I love it being there every day. It's fantastic. Yeah.
Very interesting. So Dexter Resurrection had also been confirmed to be a multi-season show, and it was also teased way back that there would be some spin-off shows planned, apparently. So where do you see your character ending up? And would you want him to have a bigger role in the next seasons, possibly?
Yes and yes. um, I absolutely think Claudette and Oliva will continue to grow in their presence in the story. You know, there's a lot of sleuthing to take place. You know, they mentioned the New York Ripper that
Yeah,
Claudette is obsessed with. I think we'll see that play out. And yes, I've heard. You know, we've all heard these stories of possible spin-offs. I would sign up for that in a heartbeat. I would love to continue with this show in any way they would have me. I mean, it's like I've said, it's a dream job, and I never want it to end. So yes, I would love for it to just continue to grow and go, and hopefully people will continue to love it, and I think they will. I mean, it sounds like it's being very well received. The numbers I hear are great, and you know, who knows? We'll see what happens. I've been in this business long enough to know there are no guarantees,
yeah.
but this is one of those special shows that you just feel like, okay, maybe this will continue to have legs because it's had legs for so long. It's been such a massive hit. I think it is the most successful show in the history of the Showtime network. So that, you know, if
Definitely.
yeah, if the past is a harbinger of anything, then hopefully that's good news. Yeah.
And since you also mentioned the New York Ripper, there's been a lot of theories on social media and like on TikTok that have been going around, and people were theorizing that the New York Ripper could either be you or Blessing Kamara or Leon Prater. What do you say to those theories?
I say those are all excellent theories. And I look, I don't know what to say. It's it's really great that the audience is invested and trying to figure this out. And I just love the passion that I'm seeing from people. And I I don't know. I don't know. The truth is I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go. But whatever happens, I think it'll be a thrill, and it probably won't be what anybody expects, because that's how good Clyde Phillips and Scott Reynolds are.
Yeah,
They keep you on your toes, and just when you think you've got things figured out, it goes a different way.
very interesting and good answer. Basing off of the first 5 episodes, because who knows, what if Detective Melvin ends up interacting with Quinn or Masuka in the second
Yeah,
half of the show? But
yeah.
can you put your character in the original Dexter series before everyone started dying? And how do you think his character uh, would go about with his chemistry with each of the members of the Miami Metro?
That's a really good question. I think my character, in some ways, has been written to be a little bit of several different of the original Miami people.
Yeah,
That was such a great special group that they had on the original Dexter. Batista and LaGuerta and Quinn and Masuka, and of course Dexter's sister, Deb. I mean, what an amazing, that's an all-star lineup. And we, as of yet, our department is represented by two detectives. It's Melvin
yeah,
Oliva and Claudette Wallace. So we don't have the larger group. Whether we'll get the larger group at some point, I don't know. And whether Quinn or Masuka will join us, the way Batista has joined us, I really don't know. I think they're so great; it would be amazing if they did. Um, but yeah, I think Melvin. To answer your question in terms of getting how he fits in with those guys, I think he would get along with them quite well. They're more of the sort of the old school group. You know, the dark humor within the department, and and then of course there was Dokes.
Yeah.
God bless Dokes. I mean, Dokes is a legend. I mean, and what a great actor, what a great guy. We, you know, we we would be lucky to have any of them join us in whatever capacity. That's a legendary cast, and really big shoes to fill in terms of trying to carry on the mantle. So yeah, I think Oliva would fit in nicely with all of them, and we'll see what happens. It'd be a lot of fun.
Well, hopefully he interacts with Masuka. That would be really funny.
Yeah, yeah, I
And
agree.
Dexter Resurrection is also quite surprising in a way. I mean, it's set in New York, and we know that the billionaire Leon Prater has his own group of serial killers he meets up with. And with New York having all of its cameras around and modern technology, yet there's all of these killers running around. Do you think your character has the smarts to actually catch Dexter or one of these serial killers that's running around?
Has the smarts, yes. Um, Whether he and Wallace Claudette will, I can't say. Um, but you bring up a good point. New York City is a place where you step outside your house, outside your apartment building, wherever you are, you're on camera. I mean,
Yeah.
it's almost impossible to walk down a New York City street without being photographed one way or the other. Um, Now that being said, those cameras are only as good as the people who are looking at them, and the frequency at which they're looked at, and the purpose with which they're looked at. So, you know, uh, if you're not doing anything terribly conspicuous, I think it is possible to, for these characters, these serial killers, to come to New York City and sort of blend in, as we've seen. And
Mhm.
Dexter is, of course, very savvy about all of that. So, you know, it begs the question: wouldn't everything be on tape? Yes, but you got to know which tape to look for, and you got to know the timing of everything. You got to know where to look. I mean, it's not like these things are automatically going to show up in a database that is viewed and reviewed on a daily basis. It's too many people, and there are over 8 million people in New York City, and I think there's about 35,000 cops.
Yeah.
So that's a lot. That's a lot of people to keep track of.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Going off of Dexter a little bit, seeing your IMDb and seeing all the 2000s shows that you've been in, like Law and Order and briefly in The Sopranos and a big role in Nurse Jackie, I'm surprised you weren't in other big 2000 shows like the original Dexter or Burn Notice and stuff like that. If you were to give your younger self any advice regarding your career or acting, what would that be?
Well, specifically with regard to the original run of Dexter, that coincided pretty much year by year with the original run of Nurse Jackie. So
Yeah.
I that was never going to happen because I was on Nurse Jackie for 7 seasons, and Dexter's original run was 8 seasons, and we overlapped a lot. They were both Showtime shows, and I got to know I got to know David Zayas a little bit, and some of the other cast members because we would see each other at Showtime functions and at award shows and whatnot. So that was a lot of fun back then. With regard to these other shows, I don't know. I did have the good fortune of doing Homeland. I did a season of
Yeah.
Homeland, which I really enjoyed, which was also Showtime. Um, I've been on some other great shows. A show with Billy Bob Thornton called Goliath, and a television show that was based on the movies The Purge. I don't know if you know about those.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's always so many great things you're not a part of because you're doing something else, or you're just not a part of because you weren't exactly right for it. I don't know that I would change anything. I mean, it's a tough business, and you know, you always take the best option that's in front of you.
Mhm.
So um, I I just did the best I could. I've been very lucky. I've made a career of it. I've been a working actor for 25 years. You know, when you start out, all you want to do is, you know, qualify for insurance and pay the rent, you know, and I've
Yeah.
been lucky enough to do that and then some. So um, I, yeah, I've been thrilled with what I've gotten to do. And of course, there are so many great shows that I didn't get to do, but I get to enjoy them just like you and so many other people. And that's fun too, you know? So yeah, I would just tell myself or anybody, just keep plugging away and, you know, um, never give up. I mean, if it's what you want, if it's what you know, I had the attitude when I came to New York that I wasn't going to leave. You know, I was going to make this happen. I was going to make it work, and I didn't know exactly how or how long it would take, but I wasn't going to give up, and I think that was the right attitude because it's hard, and you've got to endure all kinds of setbacks, if you will. You know, it's always a roller coaster. There's a high, and then sure enough, there'll be a low. You know,
Yeah.
so you just have to. In fact, the phrase I like, and it's not mine, but the one I sort of adopted was, you know, you have to be comfortable in your uncomfortableness, and that's sort of what I've been able to do.
Well, I'm proud of you, man, and I'm loving you in Dexter Resurrection so far.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
And now in Dexter Resurrection, also it adds to the fourth or fifth time of you playing a detective slash cop role. Do you have a certain dream role, or do you like the characters that you play?
I've loved getting to play cops, and I've done a lot of soldiers. I've trained with a lot of soldiers. You know, I love it. I love all of that, and I have such tremendous respect for our first responders and our military. I mean, you know, they've made such sacrifices, and I'm grateful to them, and I hope most people are. Um, uh, you know, that when I think about parts I want to play, I came from the theater. I actually came from the
Yeah.
stage, so those are really the places I think about. Because the thing is, with TV and film, you don't know what the possibilities are. I mean, you always want a good, you know, big part and lots to do, and hopefully it's a complicated character and all of that. But uh, you know, I would just tell you a stereotype. I wouldn't know exactly what I'm talking about. That being said, when I talk about plays, when I talk about the plays of Arthur Miller or the plays of Shakespeare or you know, some of the great contemporary playwrights we have, um, I've you know, I've read those plays, uh, and so I get a more specific idea of what I'd like to do there.
Yeah.
So there are. I will answer the question by saying there are a lot of great plays, American playwrights like Arthur Miller, like Tennessee Williams, uh, and a scores of others who wrote modern classic drama that there's so many great parts that I would love to sink my teeth into. Yeah. Yeah.
Other than that, do you have any upcoming projects you want to speak on and maybe promote if you'd like?
You know, there's a couple of things I'm working on, but they're not at that stage where I'm ready to share them with the public. So no, the answer is no at this moment. You know, but there's always pokers in the fire, and you know, it's a funny business. I mean, we could do this conversation in a week's time, and I would be able to tell you about something else I just got. But right now, I'm going to hold off and just say I'm working on it, and I look forward to whatever's next. And I very much look forward to more Dexter.
Me too.
Knock on wood. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And last but not least, can you describe in 3 words how you think fans would react to the second half of Dexter Resurrection, knowing that big things are going down?
Yeah. Yeah. There will be some big things going down. That's well said. I think there's going to be all kinds of reactions. Um, it's just going to be an exciting second half of the season. I don't want to give anything away, but trust me, like I said earlier, it just keeps getting better and better. And ultimately, I think people are going to walk away from this season going, this is as good of any season of Dexter that's ever been made. And that's quite a feat because all the seasons were fantastic. So I think fans are going to be very satisfied, and they're going to have a lot of questions at the end, which is good because that'll propel us to the next series, the next season.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much it. Thanks for joining me for an episode of Mojito with Majeeto. Dominic, it's been so great. Do you want to say anything to the Dexter fans out here in the Middle East?
Just guys, thanks for watching. We really appreciate all your support. And the Dexter fans worldwide are the best fans in the world. This is a project that when I signed on, I didn't realize how diehard and rabid the fan base was. And it's really, really exciting to see it. And I'm honored to be a part of it, to join your community. And thank you for watching. And I hope you'll keep watching as we continue to make them.
And guys, if you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe and comment down below for more. And be sure to stay tuned for Dexter Resurrection's upcoming episodes to see more of Dominic. And I'll see you guys next time.